Definitely looks like the water is still down today. What's up, you guys? Chet Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all from a lonesome bridge out in the middle of nowhere. Well, actually, to be more specific, the outskirts of Cleveland, outskirts of Bradley County, going into McMinn County, I believe, Athens, that area. But anyway, you guys, you all must be wondering why we are out here today. And while we are out here, we will be going across the river. You see, while this might be an area that is in the middle of nowhere, people do come out here and kayak a lot. People do come out here and fish a lot. Even people come out here to hunt. Actually, this property that's right across the river from us, that is owned by the Candies Creek Wildlife Refuge. But across the river, there is the ruins of what used to be an old mill. More specifically, the old Hooper Mill. And you see, there might be a reason why that name sounds kind of familiar. Well, Isaac Hooper was the one who found the Shady Wall, the mysterious artifact that has plagued Cleveland, Tennessee for quite a while now, for quite some time. Nobody has really quite figured out what it actually is. Is it a natural formation, or is it from a lost civilization? Well, Isaac Hooper, he was out getting rocks for his mill. If I'm not mistaken, this is the mill that he was searching for stones to work on. Yes, you guys, we will be exploring the ruins of the old Hooper Mill. So without further ado, let us get in there. Anchor down. Now, in order to get to the ruins, we must cross this little path right here. It's really muddy. I don't really trust the foundations. And really, I just don't want to get wet, but that's just me. So, let's do it. I want to let you all know how old the Hooper Mill was and how long it was operated for. The Hooper family owned and operated this mill from about 1862 to about 1919. Now, in one book that I read, it said up until 1919. I'm not exactly sure if it was owned by another family afterwards, but at some point the mill will be abandoned and it will return to the earth. And it almost makes you wonder too, if maybe, just maybe, this used to be the old road going to the mill, because I know y'all see it. That is a part of an old drainage system. I mean, this is why I wonder if this used to be the old road going up to the mill, because you would not have a drainage tunnel in the middle of the wilderness, especially not out here. Imagine, before all this was flooded out, it used to be a road, quite possibly a road. But now there's nothing but dirt, rock, a lot of briars, a lot of mud. You gotta think. Just check out that architecture. No telling whose hands touched that or built that all those years ago. Well, now this is interesting. Sticking up out of the ground, is it? Well, at least what I thought was a complete Coke bottle. But dang, that thing has to be pretty old. Although I'm not terribly sure, because it looks like it does have an R on it. So unfortunately, I would not say that is from that era, the 1920s, 30s. No, it's got an R on it. It almost makes me wonder if we'll find anything out here while we go after these ruins. Honestly, I'm not too sure what all is out here. All I know is there is what appears to be a dock that can be seen from the road. And growing up as a child, passing through here, going up to my family's cabin, I would always see this. My dad would always tell me what he thought was out here. And that is what intrigued me. Always thought it was maybe someone's abandoned house or someone's old farm. In a way it is, but I had no clue it was the Hooper Mill. The Hooper Mill, which I had already seen quite a few photos of in the history of my channel. Through the dirt and the grime of the muddy Hiwassee, we have come across the foundation, and I'm sinking in the mud, but this is the foundation right here. Lost, nearly forgotten if you did not know this foundation was out here. It almost makes you wonder how many broad-shouldered men with these giant picks to get wood for the sawmill, bringing it out of the water and bringing it up to the giant blade. Just think about it. From the road, it does look like a dock, but no. Just look at the size of where those old wood beams used to be. They are monolithic in a way. No telling what kind of oak, pine, what other sturdy boards they must have used to fill those holes. And speaking of lumber, I honestly do not believe this is a natural riverbed. Honestly, I'm kind of wondering, or I do think, that this was dug for the mill. Because if you think about it, across on the other side where the river actually is, it does not look like human hands have dug like this. So no telling how many, well, actually, if you want to get technical, maybe about 102, 103 years ago, men probably came through here with these big giant shovels and what have you. And this is how the Hooper Mill became to be. We have another foundation that is hidden in plain sight. You see, as you're driving across the bridge off of Lower River Road in this part of the city where I'm from, you would drive right past this building, or this, I should say, this foundation, and you would have no clue that this was even out here. You kind of got to wonder what kind of life these stones had before they became stuck here for over 120 something years, or these dead trees that have been here probably for at least a good 20 or 30. Just check that out. That is a big cedar tree that is growing right out of the ground. I kind of wonder what they did with this part of the mill. I almost kind of wonder if maybe it was maybe storage, maybe for the wood, or maybe kind of like a blockhouse area where the men coming off the dock would bring all the wood in. I think this is what it is. And it does look like we have found ourselves another foundation, this time hidden from the road. Kind of wonder if maybe, again, I guess maybe this is maybe a foreman's quarters, maybe, well, not really a foreman's quarters, maybe like an office of some sort, maybe where like all the paperwork was done, or maybe, just maybe this is where they kept one of their saw blades. I don't really know. I honestly kind of wonder how these rocks got here, because I know for a fact that should not be there. Looks like honestly somebody went through and just tore a chunk out of it. Also, there's another block here as well that should not be in this area. maybe when they were tearing the mill apart, maybe they were just kind of throwing the rocks to the wayside to really let nature reclaim everything. But this is really interesting. Found it. Yes, that was kind of painful. But this is what kind of sparked what I was looking at. Kind of caught my interests. Again, maybe, I don't know, maybe this, I really don't know. I mean, if you look at it, maybe quite honestly, maybe that's where the mill could have been, or I should say where the blades or what have you were used to cut the wood. Or check out the size of this tree. I mean, I know it's just a tree, but good Lord Almighty, it would take two of me to go around this tree, or three. I'm like, dude, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a white oak. White oak can live to be about 600 years. Maybe this thing was alive during the days of the Hooper Mill. Now, there really aren't that many known photos of the old Hooper Mill, but there is one in question from about the 1890s, early 1900s, that does exist. And I think I have found where the building and the image would line up. In the photo that you see, it does look like it's sitting on a pretty big foundational area with the river looking behind it. And I think this is the foundation, is what is left of what was originally in that picture. It does go on for quite a bit of ways. I'm going to keep on following and see where exactly this might end. This looks like the end of the foundation. So this does look like it was a fairly large building that overtook this hillside. Maybe I was wrong at what I just said. Or maybe this is just one of the many buildings that was just surrounding the compound. I really don't know. If you look, I mean, this concrete wall, this brick wall, is still relatively tall. I didn't really mean to make a rhyme there, but I guess I did. But it looks like it just keeps going down and down. I tell you, these walls, they do look extremely fragile. And it looks like it just eventually slopes down the side of the hill. We'll jump down there and we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's about the same. Well, in a way, yeah, but this is kind of a better picture of what it used to be. Again, we have a really tall poplar, yellow poplar right there. And with this being an open area, I'm kind of thinking that this used to be the old roadway that used to go up to the mill. One of the things that I learned in forestry many moons ago, if you want to call 2018 many moons ago, is this type of grass. It does not typically grow out in the woods like this, or this type of plant. Again, that's not something that's supposed to grow out in this area. So I'm kind of thinking I was right. Looks like this used to be the old road going up to the mill. Now, I did bring something special for this vlog. Now, I believe this is the first time in the history on this property that it has ever been metal detected. So maybe we can get a few answers today on what some of these foundations were. because I'm honestly curious. I see foundations. I know what the mill was. I just don't know what I'm standing on. Like, what were these buildings used for? What part these buildings were used for? Well, after about a minute of actually like metal detecting, we finally pulled up what was setting it off, and it's still going off, but we have our first glimpse into the past. An old wooden nail. Okay, now this is getting very unusual. I honestly wonder if maybe we're just sitting on a big block of wood. We're still in the same spot, and again, I found a really, really rusty nail. See if I can show that to you guys without it coming up blurry. So, we haven't even been metal detecting for a few minutes and we've already found two things. That, I guess it's probably gonna maybe take another vlog. I wonder if I'm just sitting on a whole bunch of nails, because my metal detector, it's still freaking out. So I guess we'll keep digging, I guess. And behold, I was right. It is another nail. I guess you could say I nailed it. Now, I kind of doubt that this is some glass from that area. It's too, what do you call it? Too smooth. Glass from this area, I don't believe was that smooth, but that is very interesting, regardless. Holy crap. I just hit the mother lode. What might not be defined as the mother lode, because I haven't even really scratched much dirt yet, but that is a giant nail. Again, just digging up history. So honestly, not a bad find for just kind of coming out here and opening it out first try. We found 4 nails. I just found this in the dirt. I think that's just from a more modern time. We keep finding more nails. This honestly just makes me wonder if this mill was just laid to, well, essentially rot and disintegrate. I don't think it was torn down. I think if we keep finding more of these in later adventures, more vlogs, then this might answer that, because like I said, I've only opened it up in 2 spots and we've already dug up like 4 nails. But you guys, this is gonna have to be another vlog for another day. A metal detecting vlog, that's for sure. So you guys, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and y'all want to see more amazing videos with me. Means a lot. So without further ado, vlog over. Hold on, wait a minute. Something ain't right. My foot hit this. And I know what y'all are thinking. That is a part of an old ground hoe. Or at least part of an axe, maybe. I think it's part of a ground hoe because there is the thin end. There's the crack hedge on it. So yes, I guess we did find an amazing part of history on our way out. We're definitely coming back here to be continued.